My name is Ryan Schweiger, and I work for St. Luke's Penn Foundation. We're a behavioral health organization in Bucks County. Today we're partnering with Bucks County Drug and Alcohol Commission to spotlight some of the prevention efforts that we find going on within Bucks County. So we're on our way to Free Fall Action Sport in Quakertown. Free Fall is this amazing skate park that is a community hub. Youth come there from all over the place and are able to engage in a positive atmosphere and engage around different kinds of leadership development and mentorship. And the youth in that community just have such an opportunity to thrive in a healthy environment. You know, healthy environments grow healthy outcomes. And that's happening right here in Quakertown. It's happening at Free Fall. So while we're at Free Fall, we're going to connect with Dave Kratz, who's the executive director, Pastor Dave Kratz. We're going to connect with Nicole, the health and phys ed teacher at Strayer Middle School in Quakertown. We're going to connect with Doug Detweiler, who does community outreach for Free Fall Skate Park. And while we're there, we're going to see who else we can connect with and talk to about their experience of Free Fall.
So the mission of Free Fall is we love coming alongside students and just help inspiring them forward, whether it's in their relationships, in their skills, or even possibly in their faith. Just puts adults and other people that just care about the people that are out here and try to provide support for them while they're out here biking or skating or whatever they're doing. The building this summer is open and staffed 48 hours. Then on top of that, we try to provide events. The events are really designed to give a student something to work towards. You know, I found in my life, dirt bikes kept me out of trouble. It gave me something to focus on. So that's what we're trying to do out here, just build their sport, give a student a reason to practice or a reason to focus and work on something, keep them focused that way. Then the third thing we provide is like a team atmosphere. They call themselves the Goodlums. They're not hoodlums, they're Goodlums. And they try to lead the way in setting a positive atmosphere out here. And there's more of a commitment involved there and more opportunities to develop students in that setting and more of that team setting.
As a health and phys ed teacher in the community, sometimes something like this reaches a kid that my class doesn't reach, and maybe they're not into traditional sports, but they're gonna still come out and be active. I'm looking at kids right now that are not on a TV screen, and they are out playing and meeting and collaborating with other people. I feel like this could be a lifetime activity for them, even if they're not out there skating forever. They could be helping other kids and again, paying it forward.
I know some people out here that are in recovery that actually use this facility as part of keeping them going the right direction. It's just been a really cool thing for me to see, just a variety of the ways that this is a positive impact on our community here.
Yeah, mental health is a real challenge. And so for us, how can we support people that are really struggling and just say, hey, it's okay to talk about whether we're struggling mentally, emotionally, it's okay to talk about if we're thinking about suicide. We want to be there. We want to come alongside these young people and help them process life. Life is hard, but we can get through it together, you know, and come together. And so I want to certainly encourage people that way, and especially the young people that way.
Whenever we notice a kid might be going down the wrong path or struggling in a certain way, we have a lot of adult mentors here that will pull them aside, kind of point them to where they can find help, or just know that they have a support system here and they can talk to anybody at any point.
We travel almost an hour to come here. My community, a lot of the preteens and teens get lost. They have playgrounds for kids and they have art galleries for adults, but there's nothing for the teen and preteen age to kind of focus. And they have the most confusion and sort of lost energy that needs to be harnessed towards something. And you know, I see the kids here when they're riding boards and scooters and stuff, they're constantly challenging themselves to be better at something. It's a very obvious answer to have a place that they can come and just be themselves, you know, and here I really feel like kids can just be themselves.
No matter what we're going through, we're family, Free Fall family. You know, we support each other, and every person needs that. And I think, yeah, if every community could have it, it'd be a better place. We hope when someone comes onto this campus that whether they come just to skate or bike or whatever, we hope they experience so much more. We hope they experience community. We hope they experience a positivity that, you know, is undeniable to them and that they leave a different person.
All right, so we're on our way to Camp Crossroads right now. It's in Quakertown, right here in Bucks County, and it's free of charge, and the only requirement is that these youth between the ages of 9 and 12 have some form of substance use disorder in their family. These kids, they can come to this camp and build skills and build connection and build peer support and learn about the disease of addiction and substance use. And it's just an amazing program that we need more of this kind of stuff, and it's absolutely free. It's fully staffed by counselors of St. Luke's Penn Foundation. Great resource, great prevention resource here in Bucks County to engage our youth around the preventative factors and help and support these youth with being the future and making healthy decisions and learning about this disease and supporting one another. All right, looks like we're here.
My name is Megan Yoder, and I'm Program Supervisor for Impact Camps at St. Luke's Penn Foundation. Okay. So the mission of Camp Crossroads is to introduce youth who have been impacted by substance use disorder to a community where they can gain mentors, they can gain peer support, they can get an educational type of camp experience and also a traditional camp experience with fishing and rock climbing and volleyball. And exposing them to those different things where they can just have a community and a safe space to process the different things that they've experienced in life thus far due to substance use. So our curriculum is based off of the 7 C's of addiction. I can't control it, I can't cure it, and I didn't cause it, but I can take care of myself by making good choices, communicating my feelings, and ultimately celebrating myself. This weekend, we're working on caring for ourselves, what that looks like in the midst of having to sometimes raise ourselves a little bit, but also struggling with that dynamic of somebody should be caring for me at this time. And so how do we kind of figure that out? So let's work through personal hygiene, and let's work through having firm boundaries and different ideas like that, where we hopefully give them the tools they can add to their tool belt, so when they go beyond this place, they have different coping skills and different lessons that they get to take with them into the real world.
We're looking to help kids to regulate their emotions. And movement is one of those ways. You know, Tai Chi Qigong is just one way, but movement, slow, gentle Tai Chi Qigong movements are a way to calm the body, focus attention, and have some fun.
I think a lot of them enjoy the classic games, the meeting new friends and things like that. But there's a lot of times that I think that they get to enjoy having those tougher conversations. A lot of them kind of come out of their shells, whether it be in group sessions like we're kind of having today, or one-on-one individually with one of the counselors. They seem to have a bit of relief that kind of comes out of it. Yeah, sure, it's fun to play dodgeball and run around and things like that, but it's also an enjoyment for them to be able to get some of those burdens off of their chests.
They're getting better at expressing themselves in healthy ways. They're getting better at interrupting their sort of negative processes that they go through, and ultimately they're making some good, long-lasting friendships that will hopefully serve them. And I've seen that so far, so I'm very optimistic. We have another camper who wouldn't speak the first camp. And then we just had, we're just talking in group there, and she's volunteering different self-care things that she's doing, which is huge for her because she hasn't done that in the past.
It is like a good thing to care about yourself, because when you care for yourself, I think it makes you feel like more responsible. And if somebody sees you caring for yourself, it could inspire somebody to start caring better for themselves.
The counselors are amazing, and they just help you get through everything. They don't judge you for anything, because most of them have been through something you've been through, or help other people.
I've gotten to see firsthand some of how COVID in particular has really begun to highlight this mental health crisis it's been around for a long time, but it has really reached its peak and it's not going anywhere. So I think that programs like this are really critical to go upstream of some of the difficulties that we experience in the community to help these kids grow up in a way that they learn how to do some of that really tough self-care, that they learn how to take care of themselves and communicate and celebrate themselves that they grow up with some of these alternate belief systems, because it's very easy as a kid to internalize things like, I'm not good enough because my parents would rather do drugs than take care of me. So any kind of funding that can be placed upstream is super important. That funding also needs to be placed in where the problem is happening in the community. We can take a look at what's happening acutely in our communities, what's happening chronically in our communities, and make some infrastructure changes to help those things, but then also look upstream for these kids where the funding's being cut for schools, for arts and culture and counseling, and bring that back in. That's how we're going to create a stronger society, and that's what's going to make this country really thrive.
Our ultimate goal is that when these kids get to graduate out of our program, that they are ready to say no. We're learning these coping skills, we're having this education, but all of this, like I mentioned earlier, is that toolbox. And so we're adding tools to be able to break the cycle of addiction within our families, because we know that addiction is generational sometimes. And so giving these kids an opportunity to process it is huge. We specifically work with ages 9 through 12 because around 8th grade, they start making definitive decisions. So we really want them to work through everything that they've experienced prior to making those definitive decisions. And hopefully when they get there, that definitive decision can be no. Without a doubt, I think this is a program that can be used in any county around. It's so powerful that, yeah, we may not be impacting more than 20 campers per year, but all of this is worth it if it impacts one camper.
So now we're in Lower Bucks, about to get to No Longer Bound, which is an amazing resource here in the Lower Bucks community, serving the young folks and their families. It's truly a community hub, bringing different sectors of the community together around prevention efforts. I'm going to meet with Demita and connect with some of the other community partners that truly make No Longer Bound what it is.
My name is Demita Harvey, and I am the Prevention Manager for No Longer Bound. So our mission is to empower the community by providing educational programming and training to address drug and alcohol abuse, and also to increase positive social development and improve overall well-being. So No Longer Bound, we really work on empowering the community, and we do that by providing resources, education, and training. We really believe in working together as a community in order to help each other. We rely on our community partners and the community in order to make sure that we're able to make opportunities available for our youth and opportunities available for our parents and for the community. So Monday through Thursday from 4 to 6, we offer an out-of-school programming. They come in, we help them with their homework. We also have reading support twice a week. We have different community partners come in and teach them new skills. We have guest speakers come in. In January, we have our Amplifying Black Brilliance program. That's a partnership with the Bristol Riverside Theater and Artrageous.
Amplifying Black Brilliance is one of the programs that we collaborate with No Longer Bound on. It creates immersive experiences for youth to celebrate heritage within the African diaspora through creative expression, education, mentorship. It's a free community program. We mainly focus on youth ages 7 to 17. We've done African drumming, we've done African dance, we've done playwriting. So not only are youth learning, they're actually getting a chance to have that immersive experience where they get to, write it, they get to act it, they get to perform in front of their families. And it's just such a special experience. It's just been so special.
We're very proud of No Longer Bound and the work that Demita does. We're so glad this organization is here serving the youth, and any time that No Longer Bound needs Bristol Riverside Theater, we want to be there for them and support everything they're doing. I think it's the key to improving the lives of kids in our community.
No Longer Bound serves so many of our students, and it's a great relationship to have because we spend so much time with the students in the schools, and sometimes they're really shocked when we know about the programming that they're into in the community. Demita, Sonia, and Elena, they are mentors that supported our students for the student leadership group, and those students work closely with our teachers through professional development. We also have Too Good for Drugs and Too Good for Violence coming into the middle schools soon. We are finalizing the planning for all of their programming, and it's a perfect time for it. as well, because post-pandemic, we're still working with getting students to be where we need them to be socially, academically, and so we're really excited for that program to come into our schools.
The way that students end up doing drugs these days ends up being in a more overt way. Any connection with any group that's trying to work with our youth and not choosing drugs or alcohol as the path is a step in the right direction. No Longer Bound's pairing has provided mentorship opportunities for some of our students. You know, and I can't speak highly enough to the power of mentorship, especially when you're talking about a student who's sitting right on the edge, you know. And that's unfortunately sometimes what we're talking about. We're, you know, just a few decisions away from some things that will stay on their record for their entire life, you know, versus a preventative approach and ensuring that we don't end up in a situation where drugs and alcohol are leading rather than, you know, not being used.
If you are providing students with an opportunity to do something, if you need any assistance, like the students, they deserve it, and they're involved and they're here. They could be anywhere. They could be running the streets. They could be, you know, doing who knows what out here, but they choose to be here. You do see the impact and you see the pictures and you're so happy that the students are involved. We're just supportive and so appreciative of everything, and we're always going to be supportive and appreciative of everything that No Longer Bound and their programming does for our students.
I believe that more communities should have spaces for kids to go, having activities for them to get involved in. When children are bored, they get into mischief, right? And not only just having activities for them to do, having them lead some of those activities. It's important that we really give them the skills and support in order to be able to, you know, lead activities, because how can they lead the future if they've never been given that opportunity? So it's so important to be able to instill those skills into the youth in order to help us help them, and for them to help us later in the future, because they are our future.
So there we have it. I mean, I'm just in awe and wow thinking about these programs. We started at Free Fall Action Sport, Quakertown, skate park, headed over to Camp Crossroads in Upper Bucks and learned about what their program is doing to engage our young people that are impacted by substance use, and No Longer Bound all the way across Bucks County and the lower end of the county, and hearing all the amazing things and partnerships that they have in the community to engage our youth here in Bucks County. And you know, Bucks County Drug and Alcohol Commission bringing this all together and supporting all these programs. It's really inspiring to see all the work that we're doing here in Bucks County for our youth, for our young people and their families, and it's much needed. We still need more. There's still a lot of work to do in the county and in the communities, but what a great start. What a great couple programs that we were able to see here in Bucks County, and see these different characters that are impacting people's lives in Bucks County.